there. Good to see you. So a question for you or a comment for you. Did you know that self-care is not selfish? Do any of you feel like that if you take time to care for yourself that people will call you selfish? Do you ever feel like you don't take time to schedule things for yourself in your planner? Do you find that you're just feeling a little bit frazzled and overwhelmed? And yet, a lot of times we don't take time for ourselves. The problem with that is that when we don't take time for ourselves, we don't treat ourselves well. And most oftentimes, we don't treat our family or friends well, whoever we're closest to. And so that causes a ripple effect that starts right within inside of you and affects everyone around us. So it's so important. We are talking about self-care September to talk about what it means to have self-care in your life. Because what happens is that you become impatient, or I'll speak for myself. I become impatient, irritated. A lot of times I become resentful to others when they ask me about doing things. When our gas tank is empty, we have nothing to give, right? So it's about finding a way to bring it back to ourselves, reconnect to our inner selves, and find a way to figure out some balance in your life. I'm Reverend Lisa, and I'm a spiritual life coach, and I'm here today to talk to you about your inner dazzle and how we can connect the two together. Because really, our inner dazzle is that inner light, that inner part of us that knows completely how to be happy and successful, to live an authentic life. Inner dazzle is that part of you that knows how to shine and just knows what to do, how to do, and when to do everything to have a wonderful, happy, fulfilling life. So I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about connecting to that inner dazzle. And the way that we do that is through self-care. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I have a wonderful quote that I wanted to share with you. It is by Eleanor Brown. She says, "Rest and self-care are so important. When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve from the overflow. You cannot serve from an empty vessel." That is so true. Do you all agree with me on that? I think that's definitely true. So that's the point, is that we can't serve from being empty. We really need to come from that fulfilled part of ourselves. And the good news is that when we take time for ourselves, we are rested, we're reconnected, we're centered, we're peaceful, we're happy. And then, of course, once we feel that inner love and that inner peace inside of ourselves, then we can share it with others. And definitely a lot of times for us busy moms, I'll speak for myself, that affects my children, affects my daughter. So it's extremely important for me to come from that place of peace so that I can be a wonderful, loving mother and be in a great place so that I can be in a good space to be connected and take care of my daughter the best that I can. So I think that's definitely something to think about. So self-care is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation. Do you all agree with that? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. I'm curious to find out. What are some self-care tips that you have? What are some ways that you express and take care of yourself? Let me know in the chat. Send me some messages, even later, even if you're watching this later on. Just let me know what some examples of self-care that you do for yourself. I love hearing all the different ideas that we have. So just a little bit about me, talking about self-care. Of course, this is kind of really personal for me because over the last 6 months, I have been spending all of my time putting my spiritual coaching business together. I've been working with a spiritual business coach, which has been absolutely amazing. It's been an incredible experience. But along the way, what happened is that I let myself go. I let any self-care go. I really didn't focus on myself, and I didn't schedule in time for myself. Barely taking time. Still took time for prayer, and sometimes I do like a short little meditation. But what I found is that the further on I went, and I felt like I just had to put all my energy into this program, and there are so many pieces to it, and it's a lot of work on the computer. It's a lot of technical stuff, Facebook ads, and all kinds of things like that, as well as writing a lot of content and all kinds of stuff that just took everything. It just took all of my focus. But the thing that happened is that I realized that I didn't spend any time focusing on myself. I was skipping working out and taking walks in the morning. I was skipping doing like a full meditation. I was even skipping breakfast of just having coffee. And then by noon, I would just be, So in so many different areas, I found that it really caused me a bit of burnout. And the last few weeks, I had to take a step back, and I have had to really take time to reconnect, recenter, and refocus myself, so that I can come from a place of being filled. As we were talking about, my gas tank was empty, but it is becoming refilled as we speak. So I'm definitely taking more time to step in and do those things that are self-loving, self-compassion. That's what it's all about. I think that is so important. So I have another quote for you that I actually wrote in here in the comments. And sorry, I spelled the Dalai Lama wrong, but the Dalai Lama says, if you feel burnout setting in, if you feel demoralized, if you feel exhausted, it's best for the sake of everyone to withdraw and restore yourself. That's what it's all about. Withdraw and restore yourself. So that is kind of the process that I've been in here the last few weeks, is really taking time to take a step back and just be present and just be spending time with myself. And it was nice. I just like hang out on the couch and spent time out on my patio, my beautiful patio. It's been a great experience. So I invite you to definitely take a look at your life and see where you are and see what it is, where it is that you can focus and find more self-care in your life. And let's see. Yes, Miss Gina, we teach others how to treat us by what we accept. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Wow, that's beautiful. Thanks, Gina. That's really so true. Oh my gosh. So let's see. I have a few tips for you in this realm of self-care. So one of the ideas is just, I want you to think of yourself as your own best friend. So when we step back and we take a look and we say, all right, so how do I treat myself? Do I treat myself the way that I treat others? Do I treat myself the way that I would treat my best friend? How do you feel about that? What thoughts do you have about how you treat yourself? Are you kind? Do you say loving and kind words to yourself? Are you able to take a look in the mirror and just say, I love you? That's your assignment for today, by the way. I want you to take time to go into your mirror, and I want you to look deeply into your own eyes, and just really express how you feel in a loving and kind way. Saying, I love you, I accept you, all the wonderful things about yourself. That's what I want you to focus on. So that is such an important thing. So ask yourself, what kind of a friend am I? Am I being a good friend to myself? That's your number one priority. And then everything else falls from there. And yes, I have some friends that I've talked with, had a conversation the other day with one of my friends, and she has three littles. Well, one little guy, and then one in a grade school, one in middle school. And she says, well, I don't have time to do all that. I don't have time for myself. I have to just focus on my kids. And I said, but what we realize is that when your tank is empty, it's just, you have less time, you have less ability to really be in a good place when you're with your kids. So it's again, and it's what I've also learned as a mom is that we are teaching our children by the way that we act, like Gina had mentioned. We teach our children how to take care of themselves by our own self-care. That's exactly what I was going to say. So that is so perfect. We teach our children how we want to take care of ourselves by taking care of ourselves. So definitely so important. And so then the second little idea I had was, don't worry about other people's opinions. Okay. That's another thing we need to be aware of, because I think all too often, especially with Facebook and Instagram, we get on there and we feel like we have to paint this perfect picture that our lives are just, this perfect happily ever after. Well, the reality is yes, maybe we do have a happily ever after, but life isn't perfect. And there are days when things are messy and our hair and our makeup is not done. And, there's a lot of different things that could be going on. So it's definitely important for you to not worry about other people's opinions, because that's not what it's all about. What it's all about is how you feel and how you care about yourself and your family. That's what's most important. So I think it's definitely time to focus on that. Hello, hello. Hi, Wayne. Yes, be good to yourself. It's simple, but it's important. It's important. Oh, sorry, my hair is sticking in my earring. Yeah, and so the third one is do something that brings you joy every day. So I like to invite you to think about it. What are some things that make me happy? That's the question for you. Ask yourself, well, what are some things that I like to do? What are some things you like to do just for you, not for your friends or your kids or your spouse? Just what is something that you love to do that brings you joy? It could be something totally simple. It can be, there's just lots of different things. And we're going to actually go through some of them here in just a little bit. So I just want you to ask yourself that question. What brings me joy? What is something that you can do that you can fit into every day, or at least more days than not? One of the things that I love to do is sit out on my patio, and I love all my flowers, and I like to just hang out and smell my flowers and just be present with my flowers. It's always a good thing. I always enjoy that. Yes. Praise well with others. This is so good. Yeah. So that's some ideas to think about. So yeah, I think let's see. Let's actually go through self-care can be. I have a wonderful little picture that I wanted to share with you. Oh, this is so great, everybody. Check this out. So, first one, self-care can be asking for help. Obviously, it's so important for us to reach out to other people and realize that we're not alone, and we do have people that are there to help us and support us. Ask for help. Spending time alone. This is also another thing. And I know a lot of times with our families, sometimes we don't get very much time spending time alone, even if it's when you're taking a bath or a shower. Schedule time in to take a bubble bath and really spend time with yourself and just be with your thoughts, or just maybe have no thoughts. How about that? Putting yourself first. And once again, I know as moms and dads, a lot of times we tend to put our families first, but I think it's so extremely important, once again, to put yourself first and remember to stay connected by doing spiritual practice in the morning, even if it's 5 minutes before the kids get up. Taking time to put yourself first. Let's see, the next one is asking for what you need. That one kind of goes along, I think, with asking for help and asking for what you need. I think that's just so wonderful. It's important to ask for what you need. It's okay to ask. It doesn't mean that we're not strong and that we're not brave. It doesn't mean that we're not capable. It's not that at all. It's just taking time to ask for what you need. And then, of course, the other big one for me, I think, really is setting boundaries. It's all about setting boundaries, because as we do that, we can then begin to step back and really be able to see what's next, and how can we serve ourselves by setting boundaries. Yes. Staying at home. This is another one too. A lot of times we think we have to just go out and go and be out and doing stuff all the time. But the reality of that is that it can burn you out. I've done it. I'm one of those people. I'm a very social person. I love being out in the public, and I love being with my friends and being out and going places and doing things. But the reality is that I'm learning that I need to take time to stay home also, and just be still and be present and just take time and enjoy my space. Of course, saying no. Self-care can be saying no. Do you take time to do that? Do you find that you can't take time, or that you feel like you can't say no? This is a big question, I think, for a lot of people. And I think I want you to take time to step back before you say yes, and even tell people, hey, I'll get back to you on that. Let me look at my calendar, before you answer them, before you say yes to doing something that maybe it doesn't really bring you joy, or you might just feel obligated. So take time to do that. Take time saying no. That's really important. and forgiving ourselves. Self-care can be forgiving yourself. This is also a really important one, and I think a lot of times this is overlooked. It really is about taking time to forgive yourself. We all make choices sometimes that aren't our best choices, but I think, as human beings, that's part of what we do. That's part of who we are. And so it's really important to take time to forgive yourself and know that everything is going to be okay and that you can just forgive yourself and move forward and bring peace to your heart. And I like this one, taking a step back, which is kind of what I said with the other ones. Take time to take that step back. Take a step back and really take a look at what's going on in your life and where can you find more self-care in your life. That's what's so important. Take that step back. I promise it will be worthwhile to take a step back and observe. All right, so that is the self-care can be. I love those. I think that's such a great thing. So take time to step back and look at these and take note, make some notes and figure out where it can best support you. And I think it will definitely be a valuable experience for you to take a step back and see where you can experience more self-care in your life. Okay, so I also have for you a little video that I wanted to show you, and this is Oprah. Of course, I love Oprah, so I love listening and watching a lot of what she has to say because she's such a wonderful, wise woman. So we have a video coming up, and take a look at what she has.
The truth is, you don't have anything to give that you don't have. So you have to keep your own self full. That's your job. One of my daughters is here today from Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy. Stand up today so everybody can see you. You're going to end your first year soon. Oh my God, it's first year. I say to my girls all of the time that your real work is to figure out where your power base is and to work on the alignment of your personality, your gifts that you have to give, with the real reason why you're here. That's the number one thing you have to do, is to work on yourself and to fill yourself up and keep your cup full. Keep yourself full. Now, I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid, particularly from people who say, oh, she's so full of herself. She's so full of herself. And now I embrace it. I consider it a compliment that I am full of myself. Because only when you're full, I'm overflowing, my cup runneth over. I have so much to offer and so much to give. And I am not afraid of honoring myself. It's miraculous when you think about it. First of all, for me, my father and mother never married. They had sex one time underneath an oak tree because she was wearing a poodle skirt in 1953. And my dad, to this day, says, I want to know what's under that skirt. That's what I want to know. He wanted to know what was under the skirt. They didn't really have a relationship. She wanted one, but he went under the skirt and then that was it. And one time under the oak tree, bam, Renaissance.
Woman is born. It happened there.
That's why I know my life is bigger than that. My life has to be bigger, as yours is, bigger than a poodle skirt. It's much bigger. The design, the reason why I'm here is much bigger than, I think I want to see what's under there. So the ability to take care of that, to honor yourself and that which is greater than yourself, that which was the reason for your being here. That there's no selflessness in that. Because only through that do you have the ability to offer yourself, your whole self, your full expression of who you are to the rest of the world.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's such a great little video. I think that's so funny what she's talking about. But I think what her message is so key, and it's definitely, like I was saying earlier, that how did I say it? That self care is not self indulgence; it is self preservation. So that's what it's all about. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first. I love it. I love it. I love it. And let's see, Miss Gina, how would you treat your best friend? Never say anything to yourself that you would not say to them. Oh my gosh, that's just key. Definitely, definitely key. And let's see, Wayne. Wait, is Wayne? Wayne, it's safe to be who I am. It is safe to be who you are. And we just can all take time to love and accept and nurture ourselves. That's what we're here to do. We are born we are born here to experience it and express. God wants us to experience happiness and joy and love in our lives, right? That's what we're here to do. So I have some examples for you, and I want you to just take heart to these. If there's some ideas that you have, post them in there. I'd like to see what some of your self-care ideas are. And I have some here for you. I have another fun little picture that I'm going to show you here, and it's got some great suggestions of self-care for you. So let's look. We have set time aside for hobbies. Yes, yay. So set time aside for hobbies. This is great because I think this is a great way to experience joy for a lot of us. Um, Definitely find a hobby or something that you love to do. I think that makes such a big difference if we actually take time to do that. And a lot of times we can do that with our kids or our spouse or partner. You can create and enjoy hobbies together and find some fun things to do that resonates for both of you. Talk about our feelings, definitely key. We all know that that's important, to talk about our feelings and not hold it in and just hold back. It's so important for us to take time to do that. Video call with family and friends. Oh my goodness. Stay connected. Stay connected. Don't let yourself become disconnected or unconnected with our family and friends. And I know for a lot of us through COVID that has been a challenge. That was a big challenge for a long time for a lot of people. And so now I think it's time to take the opportunity and really take that step and make the video call. Schedule time to talk with your family and friends. Let's see. Rest well, of course. At least I really do best on 9 hours of sleep. That's really what I do best on. So I recommend for you to, figure out a way that you can get everybody to bed, get the kids to bed, and get things settled so that you can at least, get some sleep. And focusing on the moment. This is another big thing. And I love to, I'll list it here in a minute. Take time to experience the moment at a time. And I have some 1 minute pause videos for you on my YouTube channel. So we will post that here in just a second. Take time to focus on the moment. It's definitely another way. And it's a great short little experience, but it's really can make a big difference. And yes, so there's if you go to YouTube, subscribe to Inner Dazzle LLC, and you can get lots of 1 minute pause videos. And those are 1 minute. So everybody has 1 minute where you can actually take time to take a pause and take a step back and enjoy the moment, bring some peace to your life. And then another big one that's so important for me, especially, is finding time for movement. Some kind of movement, whether it's yoga or just stretching out a little bit in the morning or taking a walk. Even if I just do a 20-minute walk, oh my gosh, I feel so much better the rest of my day if I just take a little bit of time to walk or stretch out. Get time to the gym if you're able to fit that in, or something that resonates with you. So important. Encourage journaling and self-reflection. Of course, that is fantastic. We must do that. It's such an important way to express our thoughts, our feelings, get them out. Don't hold on to them through journaling and self-reflection. Take time to focus on yourself for a little bit. So there are some wonderful suggestions for you for self-care activities. And I think that would be some great ideas for you. So I want you to take time to to remember some of those and actually take action and do that with yourself. Do that for yourself, because self-care is so important, as we mentioned. Self-preservation, that's what it's all about. So thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our message and self-care. We're going to do some more self-care. I have more tips for you that we're going to go through next week. So join us, come back, and join us for some more tips on self-care and self-reflection. Definitely, it's so important to the well-being of ourselves and our families and our lives. So thank you very much. You can connect with me on my Inner Dazzle page. It is spiritual resource. Check in with that there. You can connect with me there as well. You can also send me an email if you want, lisa@innerdazzle.com, if you wanted to talk further more about this or do some spiritual coaching or just, connecting. Let's see, what else? I think, YouTube is Inner Dazzle LLC, and I think that is about it. Our time together is truly a celebration of your empowerment. And that's what we're here to do, is to empower ourselves, empower each other. You can send the programming that we're doing right now is broadcast through New Thought Media Network, which is an amazing, amazing network. We are doing some really big stuff here. You can join us in the mornings and the evenings, 8:15 a.m. and p.m. Mountain Time for our prayers. We have live prayers that we do. We also would love and appreciate any donations you would like to send our way. So go to ntmedia.org and click donate. You can send that there that way. You can also support my personal ministry is through Venmo at Rev Lisa1. So if you're so inspired by our message today, send us your tithes and gifts. We so gratefully appreciate it. And I appreciate your time today. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we will see you next week. Peace and blessings. Mwah. Goodbye for now. Take care.